Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Ashragat, Mysore. Today I had posted in my WhatsApp status, I have posted, it's still running, the confluence of Venus and Jupiter and have named it as Dwiguru Yoga. Many other people also have that, it's a name which is synonymous. We all know that Venus is the Daitya Guru and Jupiter is the Deva Guru. Devaguru, in the sense that in the mythology, Brihaspati is the guru for the Devatas and Shukracharya is the guru for the Daityas, that is Dhanavas, the demons. So both are highly learned in their Shastras, the education, very extremely knowledgeable. So now let us understand this yoga of two major planets sitting together. One is Venus, the other one is Jupiter. We all know that both the planets are extremely knowledgeable, gives life full of talent and skill, lot of education, lot of qualifications. But we should also understand that whether this combination of Venus and Jupiter is it good for us, whether it is bad for us, where is it placed, how is it placed, whether it is going to give benefic results. Let us understand that. Usually, both these planets are considered as benefics, natural benefics, I mean, not with regard to a particular ascendant. With particular ascendant, both the planets, any one of them will be a malefic. Like, for example, if I take Gemini ascendant, Venus becomes a partial benefic, but Jupiter becomes an absolute malefic. So, for any given ascendant, any one of the planet only is a benefic, the other one will be a malefic. So now, the lordship of Jupiter and lordship of Venus comes into account when we see this combination. If Jupiter is the seventh lord, for in the case of Kanya Lagna, Jupiter is the seventh lord, Venus is the ninth lord, Venus is the second lord, and Jupiter is also the fourth lord. So for Virgo, this particular combination is a fantastic combination because it is the seventh and the ninth lord coming together, giving rise to a Lakshmi Narayana yoga. That's okay. But if this yoga, generalistically, let us not go for one particular ascendant of, Virgo. Generally speaking, Venus and Jupiter, if they are posited in trines like the first, fifth, and the ninth houses, a person can become an astrologer, a person can become a judge, a person can become a professor, a teacher, a guru, a mentor, many things in life where he actually imparts knowledge, highly knowledgeable placement. This particular placement may not be great for marital life. Why? Because, for example, in the fifth house, Venus is the Karaka for ovaries, Jupiter is the Karaka for progeny. There is a dosha which comes to the chart, it gets attached to the chart, which is like Karako Bhavanashaya. I don't take this as totally Karako Bhavanashaya, but still, if Venus is benefic for that particular Lagna, Jupiter becomes a malefic, and being a Putra Karaka, sitting in the Putra Sthana will give difficulty. If Jupiter is a benefic for that Lagna, Venus becomes a malefic, and because it is the Karaka for fertility, it will give problem. This is with regard to one particular point. Same way, if it is placed in the 12th house, this combination in the 12th house will give spiritual elevation, lot of intelligence and knowledge towards spiritual elevation. But is that good for bed comfort? Is that good for marital happiness? No. Many cases. It's not that only Rahu and Saturn or Mars or any other planet when it becomes weak will spoil marriage. Jupiter and Venus together, Dwiguru Yoga, can also spoil the marital happiness and create difficulties and differences between these couple spouses. So, Dwiguru Yoga is not to be taken lightly. If it is there in the chart, that means the person is highly, he thinks high, his elevation is high, all that is great because he knows how to implement, he knows the theory and also the practical. That is what it is. He knows how to implement his knowledge. That means he has knowledge and also the skill and also the talent. All these three mixed together. It's a beautiful high, it gives a lot of confidence to the native. Theoretical knowledge is represented by Brihaspati, that is Jupiter. Practical knowledge and implementing what a person has learnt in his life is purely shown by Venus. So these two sitting together in a combination, as today it is sitting in Meena Rashi, it's something like around 12 degrees and I think 14 or 16 degrees, I don't know, 12 degrees and 16 degrees I think in Meena Rashi. I did not exactly see the degrees. So, but it's very close by and they have made, they both are together. When both these planets are together and have a malefic aspect or conjunction of a malefic planet like a retro Saturn, like a Rahu, like a Ketu, like a retro Mars or a retro Mercury there, these people go through several different type of problems. Retro Mercury will give a lot of palpitation, anxiety, fear, apprehensions, they don't know what to do, indecisiveness. Rahu will give a lot of health problems, hormonal difficulties. Even retro Mercury along with Venus gives hormonal difficulties. Saturn, it will delay the processes. There might be delay in education. The education might suddenly go through a big gap. The person will have to go through work. He'll have to go through some job and then again he will come into the picture of getting into education. So it's like if you see a chart, you should suddenly not pronounce that he's going to become a doctorate. See who is seeing that particular place, the fifth house or the fourth house where this is posited. If Saturn is having a direct hit on it, there will be a break in education or there might be a gap in education. So this can happen. So if you know that it's happening, then you should be aware of this and you can actually try to mitigate it. By mitigation is to try to solve it or try to go through that period with less destruction or whatever we call it, less difficulty. Okay, so Venus and Jupiter, both knowledge planets of knowledge, Jnana, if sitting in the third house, will give alasya, that is lethargy, but this person will have extraordinary knowledge, so he can sit and teach. See, a person who is having lethargy doesn't want to move around, but that doesn't mean that he cannot be a professor or he cannot be a banker. Bankers, I don't tell that bankers don't do hard work. Please don't take me in the other way around. I just told bankers in the sense that they sit in an office and work. Even software engineers, sit in a very cool atmosphere, but they do a lot of brain work. So Venus and Jupiter, both these planets together gives a lot of knowledge, and this knowledge, knowledge is not required in certain areas like the 12th house where I told intimacy is of concern, 7th house for marriage and marital relationship. When Jupiter and Venus are sitting in the 7th house, I have seen a lot of marriages, unnecessarily without any major reason getting separated. So So that separation is mostly because of misunderstanding and ego, because both these planets in the seventh house, the native and his spouse, for if a native has Venus and Jupiter in the seventh house, that means the spouse will be of a character with Venus and Jupiter in the lagna. So as good as that, so both will be loggerheads with regard to their own things. They will never they'll be very stubborn, very, they'll hold their ground whatever happens. So this argumentative combination should not be in the 1-7 combination for a happy married life. So this combination itself is not such a great combination for a happy married life, because lots of scores of horoscopes have been discussed with this particular combination of Dwiguru Yoga, and people have come across a lot of marriages getting broken. But please don't panic. People who are having Dwiguru Yoga, please do not panic. You need to see the seventh house, the seventh lord, the strength of and strength and position and combination and aspect of the seventh to the seventh house and with the seventh lord. So these things have to be seen. One thing which is very important in this is the placement of this particular combination in the eighth house, which is totally going to give a lot of dissatisfaction, because the expectation level of the native will be very high. See, the eighth house is for desires, the place where desires keep building up. It's the dreams, and your dream is I want to do this, I want to become that, I want to become an actor, I want to have a boutique, I want to be a designer, I want to be a stylist. That's all Venus. The other one will tell I want to be a financial expert, I want to put my money in the share market, I want to double it, I want to triple it. So that is Jupiter in the eighth house. I want to do this property, I want to gain money, I want to become a millionaire. All these desires will come when Venus and Jupiter are in the eighth house. And how many can become a millionaire, or how many can fly to moon? So the dissatisfaction is very high. So people who are having this combination in the eighth house, I would advise them from my end, please lower your expectation, you will be happy. Or else you will be like working and working and working, focus too much towards that. You will become an obsessive person towards achieving that goal. You will not live your life. So living life is more important, or the quality of life is extremely important, rather than always struggling in life to achieve something which is beyond your limit. So many things are not that impossible, but still, if you keep raising the bar too high, it will be difficult for a person who has Venus and Jupiter in the eighth house. I suddenly have done this video. I am not prepared at all, but I think you can understand from my language and my flow of thought that it's just an extempo, just impromptu, just video which I just thought that I have put this combination. People suddenly started asking me a feedback as to what this will happen or what is this combination. So this combination is good to a certain extent. I am telling this combination actually is a combination of high elevated knowledge. So this is good, but knowledge to a certain extent is good. Too much of knowledge, you will start showing off your knowledge, or you will start comparing others with yourself. You will start this, that, I have so much knowledge, I was in this company and the company did not even give me this, I did not get that. Okay, so this particular combination is good to a certain extent if it is placed in the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth, to a certain extent I am telling, to the fifth, then the seventh, no, I will not take that point. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 9, 11. 1, 2, 4, 5, 9, 11. This is a beautiful combination to be placed in, and I can also add the 10th house if one of the planets is the owner of the 10th house. So by saying this, I'll conclude this particular class. If my English or my sentence formation or my words were not apt to that particular situation, please forgive me. God bless you. Thank you very much for this class.